Hello, welcome. I'm Justin Waite, and this is Champion Investor. We are in the end of month 1 of 12, and these are the stats so far. Players in profit, not a lot, 22.24%. Players with more than 5% in profit, 6.66, none of the beast. Players with more than 10% in profit, 4.16%. Players more than 20% in profit, 2.62%. Players more than 40% in profit, only 1.55%. And then this month's Champion Investor with a gain of 149.95%. It's Josh. All right, Josh. Well done, fella.
Hi, Justin. You okay?
Yeah, listen, I was watching that, right? And now explain, how you made that gain. What did you invest into?
So the company that I put in the 100,000 into was Angle PLC.
So you put it's a higher. I did say this previously. High risk strategy. You put all your money into like a preclinical or clinical biotech company, which is loss making, and it could have gone either way. But in fact, I'll show you the chart on this. This is the chart. I mean, if you look at the history of this, it's going back from pretty much 2021, 22. It was up at this level up here at 150. It's come all the way back down to 10 pence, and literally you invested the day before they released the news. I had to look you up and think, is this guy the CEO of this company or what? Playing a fantasy stocks and shares competition. So, I mean, you must have known of this company for a while, Josh. Is that right? I mean, how long have you known of this company?
Yeah, I've known of the company since around 2019, and I invested around the COVID period, and then sold, and then I bought back after the announcement of the FDA clearance in 2022,
Yeah.
and then I've added shares along the way. So I am an Angle investor myself.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a question then. In real life, are you up or down on this stock?
Um, After averaging down quite significantly at 10p, I'm still down, but it's not looking as grim as what it was 6 months
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, yeah. But I assume now you've sold some in the fantasy stocks and shares competition in Champion Investor because you're still holding this. I mean, if you look at the leaderboard here, you are still number one. So you've taken some profit on that, have you?
Yeah, well, I actually bought the day before the news was announced,
Yeah.
and I sold it at its pretty much at its highest at 35p on the top of the spike, just so I could um, diversify into some of the other stocks. And then I bought some more back at around 24p, but a much smaller holding as one of my 5 holdings.
Okay. Wow, that was amazing. But why at that particular time though? You couldn't have timed that any better. That was timing of a genius. Why at that time did you buy in the day before?
Well, it was the first day that I signed up for Champion Investor, and Andrew Newland, who's the CEO of Angle, he'd been on a presentation in December, and he said that there would be some near-term news which would be imminent, that would be significant for the company. So I thought something would be announced in early January. So I thought I'll do that to start with. Angle is, in my opinion, very undervalued anyway. It had about £23 million in cash and was only a £30 million company. So the enterprise value was about 7 million. So I thought I might as well give that a go and start off with that. And if it starts well, then I've got a bigger pot to play with for the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, do you know what? It's going to take a bit of catching. I mean, you can only. I mean, there are a lot of people on this board here. I don't know if you caught the Helium One play, which was obviously another risky one, which was almost forgotten for dead. Helium One, they were having trouble, drilling for exploring for helium in Tanzania. They had many sort of rig problems, and that literally did 1,000% from almost nothing. And a couple of people, were in that, and they are on this leaderboard because of that. I don't know if they've taken any profit, but yeah, you get these. I'm trying to explain. I don't know. When did you start investing, Josh?
2008,
Yeah, okay. And how old are you then?
33.
Okay, and back then.
Back then, yeah, I was 18. So when I
Wow.
started, out. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So how and what got you into this? Because this the whole point of this game is to encourage people to invest. For people maybe to try out some things as well and have a mess around. But also, I've been doing a couple of talks with schools, and they're coming on, and I explained, what you did, and I said there's a very high risk strategy, and in real life, many people wouldn't put all their money into one stock like that. But it's
Yeah.
paid off very well. But I try to explain, to people, there's risk and reward. I mean, you can go for bigger companies and get, a guaranteed sort of reward of 5-10% a year, maybe. But if you want to get, breakneck returns, you've got to take a bit more risk. And the time to do that is in a fancy stocks and shares competition. You can mess around with that. I mean, pretty much all these people here, that's me there, but in the, in the leaderboard are in small caps, micro caps, quite risky companies, and that's where to play. So in real life, how risky are you? How much risk do you take?
I would say that I probably am on the riskier side with my portfolio, but I'm trying to move probably more into mid caps and taking a couple of punts in smaller caps and not putting too much in with the way the market's been recently.
Yeah, excellent. Well, and what's name some favorite stocks at the moment you're looking at or you're invested in?
My favourite stock at the minute is PureTech Health, and I've got I think 125,000 of the Champion Investor Fund is in that, so about 50% is in PureTech Health, and my ambition on that, I think the target for that really is about 400p year end. I'm looking for.
All right, well, it's come down a lot. Is there any news expected out on that or not? We're just waiting to see.
Yeah, well, they invest in a number of different drugs and help spin them out. So they've just sold Karuna Biotherapeutics in America, which is on the Nasdaq, has been sold to Bristol Myers Squibb for around $12 billion, and they have, I think, a 2.8% share in that and a lot of royalties. So by the end of the year, with those royalties and the sale coming in, they should be sitting at around £800 million in cash, and that's off a 500 million cap. And then there's other drugs in the pipeline that are late phase 2, early phase 3 as well. So it's another biotech play, but it's very well diversified.
Yeah. Well, biotech's done well for you, but I mean, I'm assuming, like I said, I bet you'd wish now you put a bit more in real life into an angle because that went berserk.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's come down quite a bit, but I think it could go again this year with further news, and hopefully we see some better activity in biotech through 2024.
Yeah, exactly. When you see these spikes, I mean, that was a big one. But these biotechs, it's hard to play them because, I mean, if you look at the general trend from 2021, it's come down, but it's had some of these big spikes. And if we zoom in, you can see a big spike there. Was that April? Didn't really rise back up until July, and then again in September. And so every couple of months they seem to have these spikes when news comes out. But well done on that, Josh, and congratulations, on being the first sort of a winner of the month there. And so I'm going to send you a book I really enjoyed reading, and I interviewed the guy actually, which is The Art of Execution. Have you ever read that?
I've not, no.
Well, I'm going to send you that, right? Because it's by Lee Freeman Shaw.
Thank
He's
you.
a fund manager who's a manager of fund managers. And he talks about how some of the best fund managers in the world make lots of money, even though they get it wrong more than half the time. And it's very good. He categorizes them into different tactics and all that stuff. So hopefully you enjoy. It's a very easy read as well. I find investment books can be hard work, but that's not. It's one of the books I really enjoyed reading. So I'll send you that, all right? And also, I can't reveal a bit any more about this, but you've got the first mystery ticket. All right, Josh?
Oh, wow,
I'm not going to say
funny.
anything about that. I can't reveal what it's about, but you've got the first mystery ticket in the Champion Investor, and I'll reveal a bit more about that a bit later in the year. But hopefully that will provide you with some value. But Josh, congratulations. Well done, fella.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it.